Hey, this is the God Awful Gospel Hour. It's Sunday again, and we're doing a nice little Sunday service.
Evening.
And we have Martin Phillips with us.
What's up,
What's
Martin?
hey.
We just finished the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin is from the East Coast, where I'm from.
East Coast.
The second summer I was here, we were watching Fear and Loathing, and I kept quoting Benicio del Toro. What the fuck are we doing out here in the middle of the goddamn desert? It's so hot.
Well, it felt this summer.
Was it your first summer? You've been here for how long?
Yeah, I moved in July.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Wow.
moved in the worst
From the frying pan into the
time
fire.
you could move down here.
Yeah.
It was.
Why did you move here?
I don't know. I just wanted to try something new.
Yeah.
Take advantage of opportunities. See how things worked out. Because I've been, the East Coast there. I've lived there like most of my life.
Yeah.
So just try something new out.
I saw the clip of you at the DC Improv. That was like a dream growing up. I saw Hedberg there. And
Oh dang! Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when everybody came down to the DC Improv. And it was next to the titty bar in DC. Everybody
Oh.
would go to Good Guys and then go to the Improv.
I know around the corner there is a strip club. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's the same one.
Yeah, it used to
But-
be called Good Guys.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, seeing you in front of the DC Improv thing, I was like, oh, hell yeah, he made it.
yeah. It's definitely. I think they've definitely utilized a lot of local talent.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was when you were there, but yeah, they started to do like an open mic once a month. They have different local showcases. So
I mean, yeah, DC used to be proud of, like, that Duke Ellington was from there, and then we
Oh.
got Chappelle. And they
Yeah,
were like,
should-
we're
yeah.
a comedy place now. We
yeah,
got
it's like
Chappelle.
Patton's from there.
Yeah.
Chappelle.
Patton's from
So-
Sterling.
Yeah, he's from no, I'm
Bluesburg.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying like that's where he
Yeah, yeah.
before.
that's all.
He wasn't-
I tell people I'm from DC. I'm not. I'm from Reston.
Yeah.
Everybody just gloms onto the metro.
Yeah, it's DC or DMV.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know.
I worked at
Sterling.
Reston Town Center Sunglass Hut when I was 18, and I
nice.
got successful enough there that they called me to the other Sunglass Huts, and I had to go to the Springfield Mall one and the
Dang.
Fair Oaks one, and I just had to take the metro around. Didn't have a car. I was getting rides so I could go manage Sunglass Huts everywhere.
Wow.
That was gay. That was dumb. That was the dumbest job ever. You just have to clean glasses all day and clean the glass and
I
open
guess.
stuff for people. And
Make sure no one steals.
yeah, they're all locked up. It was all locked
Oh,
up.
they are. Oh, wow. Okay.
But they were like $400 sunglasses, like
Yeah,
those Revos.
The Ray Dance.
Yeah.
Good.
I had some guy come in and try to yell at me that his Revos were broken. He wanted a new pair of $500 aviators, and he was an old Italian guy. So there's like
Yeah.
I was cleaning them, and it had that green nose grease on the
Yeah.
pads. I was like, we can get you a cleaning kit for $11.
Yeah.
I don't want that. They were broken when they handed them to me. I
Okay.
cleaned them. I gave them back, and he was like, "You broke them. I want a new pair."
Wow.
And I had just been skateboarding previously, and I fell and I broke my hand, and I didn't know it. So while he was screaming at me, I was realizing that my hand was broken. It felt like a pack of wolves were chewing on my wrist bones. And he was like, "Call your manager." We didn't have his glasses in the store, so I couldn't give him a new pair. And I was like, I didn't break them either. You broke them. You came in here with them broken and it's covered in Italian nose grease. So he's like, "Call your manager, call your boss." So right in front of him, I called my boss, and I was like, "I need to close the store. I have to go to the hospital." And the guy was standing there like, What, you supposed to give me a rebate?" And I was like, "Nope, this store is no longer a store. I have to leave and go to the emergency room now because my arm has been crushed."
How did you figure your hand was broken?
I knew I had fallen on it, but I went to the pool before I went to work like Luke in the
Oh.
back to tank. I was floating, so there was no gravity. I thought maybe that would help. Maybe I just
Oh.
sprained it.
So you knew that beforehand.
It hurt a little, but it started to kick in. I think maybe I was in shock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the adrenaline of the hit, yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, probably psychosomatic, the stress of this crazy idiot trying to yell at me and get $500 for free.
Well,
Made it really start hurting real bad.
yeah, I
I was like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore.
When it kicked it, and
Josh has so many stories that are why I never started skating.
Yeah.
You have so many injury stories, I was like, I
that's,
was always afraid to get hurt and break something, so I never skated.
So your writing is amazing. We were
thanks.
just cracking up last night. We're watching your old, the thing about the COVID, snorting the COVID vaccine.
Oh, yeah, that
and the
was
killing spree bit. We
Oh
were
yeah.
sitting around a fire in somebody's backyard cracking up. They were like, "Who's coming on the show tomorrow?" I was showing them all your clips. You got it. You were cracking up, young kids, old. You got a wide group of demographics there.
That's good. It's
What's your process? Do you have notes? Do you keep notes? Do you do a notes
on my phone, I write down the joke idea. It is like, for me, if I just write down the word,
thing? Yeah.
I know what it is. But then I go after a while to just write down the joke. I have like a document on Google Drive where I write out the entire joke.
Back it up, yeah.
Yeah. So, because eventually I'm gonna move on from the joke and stuff, so I can go back. And if I have to put a longer set together, I'm gonna go through the archive and put it all together. So.
Yeah,
I'm so old and drug-addled and senile. I have to write like whole paragraphs to remember the whole thing.
that's how I've always been.
A lot of people do that when they just write the whole
word
thing.
for word, write the whole thing, and then memorize it. Yeah, that's how I always had to do it.
I had a friend like that, and it's funny when he wrote word for word, he literally wrote down, "Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Great audience." And I was like, I don't think you need that part. I feel like
you can remember that.
Yeah, I think you can ad-lib, the what's going on, guys.
Yeah.
I woke up after doing shrooms one time, and there was a note in my phone about if cuttlefishes rape each other or not. And I was like, I can't do anything with this. I can't remember what I was thinking.
I don't know what you were thinking.
I should have done the whole paragraph and written out the whole thing.
Yeah.
I actually don't write down the idea where I'm in some type of fucked up capacity.
Yeah.
Usually I'm more, my mind's, more stable, so I'm never really running down drug ideas or any drug induced at that moment. Maybe later, I'm like, oh, what was that idea I was thinking of?
It's like if you hide your weed from yourself when you're high, and then you can't find it, and you're like, I gotta get high again to remember.
Yeah.
But I can't because I don't have any weed.
Yeah. That's what happens whenever anytime I'm high, I will come up with like a 5-minute riff on something, and I'll write down what the riff is, and it's like neo-Nazi who is angry that he got circumcised. And I'm like, well, that's a funny idea, but I thought of 5 minutes that I forgot, the last time that, that I was writing all this stuff down.
Or even if you remember, you do it on stage, and it just, like, bombs. Like you have all this stuff down, and then people are like, what's this guy talking about?
Yeah. Well, no, I had a joke that I swear it's a good joke, but it never worked. I did it like 4 or 5 times. I did it on the old podcast I had. Nobody laughed, and it was watching videos of people who hooked a train horn up to their car on YouTube, and they go by crowds of people and go bam and make a train horn sound. It was so loud it would scare all of them. And every time they go by a group of like black people, the black people would all take off running.
Yeah.
And I said, well, but you'd think it'd be Jews that run away when they hear a train horn. And it
go.
never worked. It never worked. Everybody just groaned. Ooh.
Yeah.
I was able to spin it into really, is 70 years too soon? I was able to spin into a little bit of a laugh, but I never could get that one to work.
I always think of like golden tags right when I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Right when you're fading from consciousness. And then I got to get back up and get my phone out and write what I just added. Right. And then you can't get back to sleep, and then the next day at work you're like, fuck, I'm dying because of this dumb joke, and you read it and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. What's your favorite mic in town here? Since you've been here since July, you've probably done them all, right?
I've been to a lot. I don't know. It's different nights, different.
Woodrow's is so convenient,
I feel like going to that's a good Monday thing.
And it's nice out now, finally.
Yeah, it was like cold as shit last Monday.
That's good.
We were there, and I was like, man, it's kind of cool. Like, there wasn't as big of a crowd. I was like, I think it makes sense because.
Have you ever seen a big crowd there?
Fair. That's a fair thing.
It's such a cool spot.
But
like,
even
if they could fill all those picnic tables up, it would be like a Viking hall of comedy.
Yeah. But I mean, compared to the usual, it is a little bit less.
It's a hard sell getting people to come out to an open mic. Who were your favorite comics you grew up with? Like your first CD that you bought?
I mean, back in the day, Comedy Central would just show actual stand-up all the time. Comedy Central presents. Watch it.
Pre-South Park.
Yeah, of course, South Park. Major.
Pre-South Park, it was all stand-ups. And then they were like, we can have a show.
But even during South Park,
Yeah.
they were showing it. It wasn't until
Stand up, stand up.
yeah, comes in that last
Premium
comic
blend.
standing. I used to watch that a lot. But CDs, I will say for people, I mean, you probably for you too, but at least when I was like going into high school, Dan Cook
Yeah,
was
hell yeah.
like destroying it.
Yeah.
Like I want his first CD though. I think it's called Harmful and Swallowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's still funny. I can understand his style may have fatigued people and stuff.
But we
But-
listened to that a lot. I worked at a sign shop in Manassas, right where the
Yeah.
shooting was. Remember the guy was shooting people
Yeah,
out of the back
from
of
the.
I was in the same shopping center when that was
Oh,
happening.
nice.
I could have been shot. I could have
Yeah.
died. We have a friend who's a sympathy. Every time anything happens, he's like, there was a South by Drive thing. Somebody drove into a crowd during South by,
Yeah,
and he was around the corner, and he was like, it could have been me. I was like, there was 1,000 people within that block. Like, there's 8 bars. They caught all. I'm sure they all could have died.
Yeah.
That guy tried to murder me.
yeah.
Everyone's always trying to get me.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, I've only went to DC once on a school trip, and I actually wonder if my mom has my pictures from there because I got some pretty good like Mount Vernon ones and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was it like having all the national America tourist stuff nearby? Did you ever, was it like us with Barton
Yeah,
Springs,
wow.
whoop-de-doo?
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't really think about it. Like,
Yeah.
like I drive by the Lincoln Memorial,
Yeah.
like
It was just right there. Yeah,
it's that's Lincoln Memorial. That's the Washington, monument. It's not really, anything. It's just
Every time we had
there.
people from out of town, we would take them to the monuments,
Yeah,
And then all I remember is begging for a hot dog and a Coke.
yeah. It's
We gotta go hot dog? I don't remember
Yeah.
any of the monuments. And then as soon as Forrest Gump came out, everybody that came to visit was like,
Oh,
that's where they ran across and hugged each other.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
mall. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reflecting pool. It's always been the reflecting pool. That
Been
didn't happen.
there.
That's not real. Forrest Gump's not real. That didn't. We saw Peter, Paul, and Mary play there,
Oh, nice.
just like in Forrest Gump. And then we went to the State of the Union address. Thievery Corporation did a DJing thing like during the Gulf War, post 9/11.
Okay, yeah.
There was there was protests against
Yeah,
the
course.
second Gulf thing. And we went to a lot of that stuff. It was a great place to hang out and do hippie shit with people. But eventually, it was like, there's not making a difference. People have been protesting. Every time you go to the Capitol,
Well,
there's
Yeah.
people with
fair.
signs.
Wow.
There's always and there's always some really crazy ones. I mean, that's what happened with the that kid that had to sue all the news places for
the Native American.
yeah, because the guy was banging the drum in his face and he was
Yeah.
standing there smiling. But what actually started were the Black Israelites,
Nice.
Yeah,
and they will go after anybody, and they're the ones who are hanging out on the National Mall.
Yeah, I heard that story wasn't quite the way he was portrayed.
Well, it's because that kid looked like such a little asshole.
He did look like
He had such an asshole
a complete
face.
dick. And I was like, he just looked like he was just being an ass. Yeah, I'll admit it.
It started to feel very Killers of the Flower Moon in D.C. Like, I was hanging out at protests with my friends, but all of our dads worked at making missiles for Northrop
Yeah.
Grumman.
Fair,
It was
yeah,
like, we're part of the problem. We've been enjoying this
yeah.
privilege. We all had a Super Nintendo because our dad built missiles.
Yeah.
yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry. I killed all the Flower Moons. It was me because I had a Nintendo.
Yeah, we
So-
went and saw Killers of the Flower Moon last week. It was
I saw it.
it was all right. Yeah,
Yeah, I like it was a little bit long. I
yeah,
will
it's
say.
pretty long.
I saw the late show too. I was like, man, how am I staying awake? Jeez, but turned out, no, I liked it.
Scorsese.
Yeah, I do
Can't go
think
wrong.
one of my favorite parts. I really enjoyed Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he just shows up.
Yeah.
He's huge in that.
yeah, he's like in it for,
Straight up.
yeah. It's like right after the whale. He was, but he's in it for 5 minutes. But all he just yells. That's his
Yeah.
whole thing. He's just yelling
very
the whole
animated.
time. He's so. I thought, I don't know.
That's a character. That's the old timey 20s judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is preposterous.
Yeah, exactly. He's fun. And
like-
I thought Leo really played a good, like, his character is just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He's so stupid. He's like just the dumbest guy. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I like pussy, Uncle. I like red pussy.
yeah.
I like
yeah.
stinky yellow
was-
pussy. I like
that
purple
was-
pussy.
That was like the opening introduction, like
We're going to have to keep our eye on you, boy.
Yeah. He was like, what? That was a weird opening conversation.
So you have a really cool logo. I like your logo. You got a. Did you draw that? Who drew this?
The one on my face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, my friend drew that. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a friend back home, Nick Dees.
Yeah.
He performs. Yeah, also draws.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, you draw my face. So. And yeah, I guess you did a good job. He does. Yeah.
So I did a deep dive on you. This would be a lot weirder if we were lesbians. I did a deep dive on you.
Yeah.
I Googled you on the dark web.
Okay.
And it said it was something about you being adopted in Alaska or something. Is
that
a joke?
I wasn't adopted in Alaska. I wasn't adopted at all. I've been to. Yeah, I don't know where the adopted word came in. I was,
Okay.
but I've been to Alaska.
Okay.
But I was.
Were you staying in a van?
No van.
Did you just Google the wrong Martin
Yeah,
Phillips?
what do you? I've been to Alaska. I
Okay.
worked at a summer camp, but no vans.
Okay. I think you did some kind of TikTok dance video. It looked like you were in some kind of vehicle or something. Maybe you're in just a little small cabin.
No, I think I videotaped something in my car,
Okay.
but not in Alaska.
Yeah, maybe you're just joking about being adopted or something. I could have sworn maybe I was on shrooms. Maybe I wrote it down
yeah,
and the next
maybe
morning I
I
should have
have to-
deleted that premise.
Yeah, right.
I have to look through my videos and see when I'm like.
Oh, and you had a bit about taking your kid's door off the hinges,
So,
which was hilarious.
yeah, that was a friend of mine. Growing up, she had strict parents,
Yeah.
and she had a boy in her room, so her dad took the door away.
Yeah.
I was like, geez, that's like a lot of work, you know. I gotta
We had to do that.
unscrew this. And...
We had to do that for my kid 'cause she kept slamming her door.
Oh, okay.
She's just raging out.
Oh, dude, my parents get so mad at me if I slam the door.
Yeah, like you don't get to have a door. You're gonna break the fucking house.
Yeah, they would just like yell at me, and I think I would listen, but.
But
Yeah, that's a pretty extreme form of parenting, is like intruding on your child's private room. You know?
Yeah, like,
Now you're part of the hallway. Your room
Yeah.
is now
Yeah.
the hallway.
You have an open concept here.
But yeah, my wife took the door off.
Really? You
with
really
the
did that?
screws, and I was
What?
like, "There's pins. You pull the pins out.
Oh, it's probably easier, I
You
guess.
just pull the door off."
Where do you keep the door then?
We put it in the garage. We gave it back. It didn't work out.
Oh, it
we don't.
did?
Nobody wants to know what's going on in that room.
It's fair.
I'd rather them have their privacy. Go in there, chill out. So you have a picture with Post Malone. Also, are you a big Posty fan?
That was the one time I did kill Tony when I first got here, and
Yeah.
I had no idea he was going to be the guest.
Yeah.
They were just talking about playing an intro, like Post Malone song, but then I was pretty starstruck. But
Yeah.
So I definitely, was
He's
in
from
the
here.
Post, and
Did you get the old? There was some mixtapes he did before the first album.
oh, I know. I just remember White Iverson dropping.
Yeah.
I don't think I was into it before that, but I remember White Iverson dropped.
Yeah.
And
I always liked him because his beats were kind of Tame Impala-ish. He's got like psychedelic kind of
yeah,
beats.
he definitely.
So I looked into all his old stuff, and there's some. I'll send you something. There's one song about getting pussy that's awesome.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called
Okay.
I Feel Like Monte Ellis, and it's
Oh.
got a really good beat.
That's
He's going to be
cool.
on the country. He can do. I guess he can do any genre because he's going to be on the
Yeah.
Country Music Awards. You remember at the very beginning of COVID, he did that.
Nirvana thing.
Played
Yeah.
all the Nirvana songs in his house.
Yeah, I remember that.
You did the Cleveland Comedy Fest.
I did it a couple
So I'm
times.
right about some of this stuff. Some of it's
Yeah,
accurate.
that did happen. Yeah, I did it a couple times last year. They let me headline the show, and Cleveland's pretty cool. Really nice spot.
You let them have you headline the show. They didn't let you nothing.
They asked me. They were like, "We got you." So
We
yeah.
used to look at that area from DC when we turned 16 and started going everywhere,
yeah.
And we were like, maybe we should go to Cincinnati. It's the same distance.
No, I think Cincinnati's a little bit further.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 hours drive. If you're gonna go up to Boston or Philly or whatever from Virginia,
Okay. Yeah.
like why don't we go west and check it out? And then we were like, you know what? Why would we do that? We can go to New
Yeah.
York. We can go to New York in 3 hours.
Yeah,
There's no
I
reason to go to Cincinnati.
I
from
bet
DC for
even
fun.
people in Cincinnati would
Yeah.
agree. Actually, I went in Cincinnati once. It was all right.
I went there last year, and but I was
Yeah.
right across the street from like their big music venue, and Post
Wow.
Malone was playing the night that we
Really?
got
Oh,
there,
dear.
and so the girls that were at the hotel were like, "Are y'all here for the Post Malone concert?" And my dad was like, "Oh, he looks like a damn idiot, all those tattoos." And these girls kind of laughed like, "Yeah, he cute though." But that was the night that he fell into the stage and broke his rib.
Dang.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it happened while we were there. And then the next day, Pearl Jam was playing that. And I saw people all over our hotel wearing Pearl Jam shirts, and they didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
You don't wear the shirt of the band that you're going to
Yeah,
see
don't be that
to the
guy.
band's concert.
Oh,
Don't be
yeah.
that guy. Did you ever see that movie PCU with Jeremy Piven?
Oh, I think I've seen
Yeah, it's
these,
it's an old movie from the 90s about
Okay.
like a college that got way too politically correct, which is funny in the 90s.
Yeah.
And
Now it's just reality. Now it's
Yeah.
just college.
yeah. And now so Jeremy Piven is talking to his friend who's Jon Favreau.
Okay.
And he's wearing the shirt, and he goes, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't be the guy who wears the shirt of the band."
Jon Favreau has dookie braid dreads. He looks horrible.
Yeah, he's young too. Yeah, it's from like 92 or
Someday
93.
you'll
It's
be in
from like
charge
real
of
early.
all of
Yeah.
Star Wars, Jon Favreau.
Yeah, well, for a second, and then,
Yeah.
and then they
The-
put a chick in it and make her gay.
The bit that you
Oh.
did at Woodrow's about people, Richard being named Dick, and why did their
Oh,
parents do that?
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's like did anyone tell them it's the nickname?
Yeah.
It's like Dick's the nickname. And it's like, did you ask them? So,
Yeah, speaking of football, what about Dick Butkus? Why didn't they ever tell that guy?
dude, yeah.
he was too big.
Dude, R.A.P. Dude. He,
Or
Yeah, he
Joey,
just
he
died.
just died like a month ago, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely had.
or Joey Buttafuoco? Change your
Yeah.
name. Just be
I
something
mean,
else.
but Dick Buck is he was an older guy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He's back then. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
the words had different connotations.
Dude,
back
that
then.
made him a good defensive player. Hearing all this shit about being named Dick Buck
Yeah.
his whole
Came up
life.
hard and came up mean.
Yeah, exactly. That made him stronger and a better player. But anyway,
What's your biggest like mountaintop moment of comedy that you've had recently where you're like, I made it, or this is a big deal? Or, like meeting someone you always wanted to meet, or
I guess Post Malone was
yeah,
cool.
that's huge.
There's just the other week. I didn't know they were gonna do this for my Tony appearance. They used my clip
Yeah,
as like they're like tomorrow on Tony. They used my
yeah.
interview clip. I didn't know they were gonna do that.
You're
So
the promo
yeah,
material.
yeah. I was like, yeah, they used my clip. I was like, their promo. So that
A lot
was
more
pretty.
views that way.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, it got like thousands of views and likes. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
I mean, YouTube is bigger than at some point. YouTube being online got bigger than being on TV. I mean, the population spiked, and the Nielsen ratings, nobody believed it anymore.
Well, yeah, and
online you can see exactly how many views everybody can see. it.
YouTube's free. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You don't really have to you pay for the. I guess you get premium or whatever.
Well, like I
But
was trying to tell my friends and family we're having Martin on it, and I was like, "Yeah, he's been on TV." I didn't even think
Wow.
what the difference was. I was like, "He's famous. He's online. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's TV. It's bigger than TV. It's better anyway."
I mean,
It's
yeah.
almost not as impressive to be like, "Oh yeah, Martin was on CBS."
I mean,
tonight."
I would like that credit though.
Yeah.
CBS
Yeah,
credit.
it looks good.
Yeah, it is kind of cool to be like, yeah.
Martin was on 60 Minutes because of his killing spree, because of the girl that said if he was the last man on
Yeah.
earth. Dateline.
All right, let's take a break real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a drink. Hey, we're back.
So you moved to South Austin? Did you choose South
Yeah.
Austin when you moved here? Did you look at the town?
I just went with a realtor looking at places I could afford, and
Yeah.
we ended up in South Austin.
I moved to the city when I first moved here. I was on West 9th, and I was driving around. I traded my Camry for a truck because I thought, well, I'm Texas, gonna have a truck. And I
Yeah,
drove around South Austin. I could see over, you're high up enough to see over people's fences, and I saw a lot of Christmas lights and fire pits and people playing guitar, and I was like, that looks good. I like
Yeah.
the South
I'll
Austin
take that.
culture.
I'll take that one. Yeah.
But everybody in Austin says you have to work on the same side of the river that you live on, so you don't have to commute.
oh.
But everywhere anybody works is north, mostly. I mean, it's
Yeah, I think I'm in east. East
south is
is
all houses mostly.
yeah,
You're lucky if
yeah,
you find a job south that's worth a damn.
yeah.
Well, everything's blowing up out east because of the Tesla
Oh, that too.
miniature town, mini town, the Tesla town or whatever it's gonna be out there. And then in Taylor, they're building a huge Samsung like billion-dollar factory or headquarters or whatever. So it's just going to get worse. There's just going to be more people.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
So Cam went off on you about being a sub. That was funny. That was clip got pretty big.
Yeah, that was the promo thing.
My dad was a sub when I was little in Virginia.
Michigan.
It was like Northern Virginia.
The probably Fairfax County.
Reston, Fairfax County Public Schools.
Loudoun County. I don't know why I'm maybe. I just live in school districts. That's all I think. I've been in the game. I know that.
He was a sub for a little while. He got fired for throwing kind of like a kid across the room or something.
Wow. Okay.
It was back when they had those one-piece desks where it was like the desk was on a metal thing attached to the.
They still have those
Remember
sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah. I know we were. Yeah. It's like you're attached. So yeah, they pick up the desk. You pick up the chair.
But yeah, he said this. My dad said when he was subbing, there was this kid that was like had a rubber band and paper clips, and he was flinging them at people's necks, like stabbing them.
Yeah.
Like he made some kind of. He bent the paper clips so that it was like a blow dart kind of, and he was lining it up on the rubber band and shooting people from across the room. And so he found a kid on the front row, screamed, and he went up to the kid and he had a paper clip sticking out of his neck. So we went back to get the kid and find it, and the kid was like, I don't have anything. I don't have a weapon. And
He
like,
Bart Simpsoned it.
He said, get out of your desk. I got to take the weapon. I can't let you hurt anyone anymore. He was like, no. So he just picked up the desk and turned it sideways because everything is underneath your butt on those desks.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the kid fell out and everything fell out, and he found the rubber band.
But then he got fired.
Yeah. The whole firing meeting, he was like, the child had a weapon. He had used it to injure another student.
Yeah.
I'm told that I'm supposed to remove the weapon unless you wanted me to let the kid keep stabbing people.
Yeah,
we could have done it that way.
He still got fired.
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't know, I guess maybe they wanted him to call administration or some type of security guard instead of taking the matters in his own hands. But
That's a hard job. I mean, the teachers are quitting left and right. They're pissed.
I think after the pandemic or during the pandemic, most people in education realize, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, like, why am I doing that? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, there's better jobs I can get.
People are telecommuting from a laptop for $50,000 a year.
Dude, they did virtual school. That was,
Yeah, we had to do that.
yeah, virtual school. It was really, I don't know if anybody learned, to be honest. Because most of it was just like you log in, like, hey, your assignment's here.
Yeah.
Log back in an hour and tell me you did it. And
Yeah.
Oh, my kid, I had to prop him up in front of the laptop. He was in 3rd grade. The first half of the day was a kindergarten teacher that was like, okay, my little butterflies. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And the second half of the day with math and everything was a 6th grade teacher. And she was like, shut up and learn. So his whole day was just this wide arc of like no 3rd grade anything. It was like a baby teacher and an adult teacher.
Yeah.
And you just hear the lady yelling at the kids, put your head up, I can see you, turn your camera on.
Yeah, it was always, the elementary school kids, they wanted the camera on. But then if you did like high school, middle school, not those dudes that have their camera.
No.
All those students did not have anything on.
Yeah. Did you have to do remote teaching?
I did that so coming into the 2020-2021 school year, the first half we were remote, but then the second half of the year, around like February or so, maybe March, we went back in person. Actually, they did a weird thing. They did a hybrid.
Yeah.
So 1 week, 1 day, these students come into school. Then the next day, the other half come to school.
Yeah.
And the other day, you don't come in. You log in from home. I'm in the classroom with virtual students. I think after that year, it's like, hey, we're all fucking coming back.
Yeah, we're done with this. Yeah.
Hybrid, either you can choose. I think they gave them a choice. You either go to school full time or you go virtual full time.
All the parents are like, I pay taxes for free babysitting. So give me my fucking free babysitting.
Exactly. So it was
This thing is only killing 80-year-olds. The kids can go to school. Just send them.
It was definitely weird.
Civilization got all fucked up.
It's definitely a weird time.
I think everybody kind of had that, realizing their job sucks, so they're just not going to try anymore. Have you gone to a restaurant lately?
Oh yeah, I guess.
or asked the people at Lowe's where a tool was?
Yeah, definitely. I think most people would.
Or every food trailer is like, they don't bring you anything. There's no service, but on the iPad where you pay, it's like, do you want to tip 20% or 25%?
Yeah,
that's the only options.
It's on everything now.
I think it started with the grocery stores. They did self-checkout, and then everybody else was like, that's good. Let's make them all do everything.
Yeah.
Let's stop helping anybody ever. We were joking on the last show with Stringer about how back in the day they used to make women go live in the river when they're on their periods because they were unclean. There's all these Muslim and Christian rules about unclean, but then if they're upriver, they've taken half the river now. You can't do anything downriver from the bleeding woman. So everybody has to do their washing and their own bathing
further upriver.
So they're like, go downriver, lady, because we need the rest of the river still. But like the civilization formed because of certain people's needs. Somebody found a cave eventually, and it was like, we can live in this cave, and it was probably a girl, and she probably came to the guy and was like, I found a really nice cave, but there's like bears in there. Can you just like go kill a bear, please? If you kill a bear, I'll fuck you in the cave. That's how civilization formed initially. Somebody had to kill a bear to get pussy in a cave, and now we have office buildings. I like how they're starting to call the barbed wire on the border now concertina wire, so it sounds fancy.
Yeah.
So nobody gets offended anymore. It's not barbed wire; it's concertina wire. It's fancy. You can't travel unmolested throughout the. What do you think about the whole Louis C.K. thing?
It is what it is. I'm sure. It's not the. It's even I don't even know how to this.
I think they tried to strike him down, and he came back stronger than they could
think
possibly imagine.
You think they tried to strike him down? I mean, I don't know. It's just
Same with Shane.
It's just those are two different situations they were in.
But they got canceled, and now they're back.
Yeah. I mean, Louis. I mean, he's still a really good comic. He did what he. I mean, sure, what Louis did probably was not cool. Just I don't know the the situation he was in, but I guess just
I think he's an existential masturbator. It's like
Yeah,
Schrodinger's wave. Like it doesn't exist unless someone's observing it.
Yeah,
It's like observable science.
And I heard when he masturbated in front of people, you had to get like completely naked too. It was
It's like the kid that pulls his pants down in the urinal.
No, I thought, he thought he was just like down the zipper. But I heard like he was fully jerking off.
The full.
It's just really awkward to be people, and then I mean. They may have consented or something, but then it's a weird situation. To be, like, no one's even asked me that in person before. Like, I jerk off. Like,
it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you get canceled.
Yeah.
Even like totally, go to anything. They went through their thing. Like people, they like you. They enjoy your stuff, though.
And also getting canceled almost kind of guarantees you an audience because you were big enough to be canceled in quotes. That means that there's half of the audience is going to like you even more.
Someone's going to miss you.
Yeah, exactly. But then you do get a different kind of audience. You lose a certain audience, but then you gain a certain audience.
You get a way different YouTube comments.
You get a different fan base.
Yeah. You get captured by. I mean, have you seen the latest Roseanne stand-up specials? Like that, she knows who her audience is now.
Dude,
and,
that was
Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
The Roseanne thing. Yeah. I don't know that she's even saying jokes.
I think she's just going, does this trigger you?
Yeah, dude. That actually, me and my roommate actually got a free 7-day prescription
to Fox Nation or whatever. Yeah.
Just to watch it.
Yeah.
And it's like, this was not worth it. I will say
I want my time back that I spent.
I will say the Rob Schneider one wasn't as bad. Rob Schneider has a special on Fox Nation. it's it's not as.
I bet they hide their aggregate. You can't see how many views they get. They don't
Yeah.
want anybody to
Yeah.
know. There's no.
So they're
Nielsen
just like
rating.
the other side's media companies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I've found the four words that just absolutely drive a certain group of people insane, and it's usually like the kind of affluent white female liberal, very opinionated, and those four words are I forgive Louis C.K.
You're not allowed to do that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I have to forgive him for anything, but I've never. I don't. Yeah, this is a weird situation to be in.
And it's
Really.
another one of those things where it's all hearsay. No one was there. No one knows what happened. And
Well,
there's a lot of exaggeration going on
Uh,
from both sides. Who knows? I don't know what happened. I know
well,
a lot of
it
people
sounded
said
like you jerked off
the
in
same
front
thing.
of
Yeah,
them.
it's like the Cosby thing.
Well,
he
even-
admitted
It's
that he
corroborating
jerked
the
Yeah,
same
he
story
did
over
admit
and
that.
over again.
That- I mean, yeah, I mean, but again, he's still even his specials that have come out after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still really, it's still really enjoying. They're really funny, but
Yeah.
but to be fair, I got the free link to them from a buddy, so
Yeah.
But
I didn't pay it. Yeah, I didn't give him any money. Yeah,
But you can imagine how awkward the moment is if, it's like you were saying earlier, somebody saying, "Can I jerk off right now in front of you?" I mean, like,
But yes,
that's a big flex
yeah.
for everyone else in the room to be like,
It's
Alright.
it's kind of like what we were talking about with our former guest Chiaki about how a woman thinking that having a job where she makes a lot of money and she's very powerful and she's very assertive and all that, because that's what she likes in men,
Okay.
that must be what men like in her, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the girl version of a guy sending dick pics.
Okay.
Because there's nothing a guy wants more than if he's talking to a girl that he likes and she sends him a picture of her tits.
Okay.
Visual aids.
So if that's what I like, then that must be what she likes,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. So you're saying
You're projecting.
the girl wants you to have a good job and stuff?
No, she,
That's what I want from a woman. Yeah, so you're right. That sounds good. Sounds like a fantasy of mine.
it's the 40-year-old woman who thinks that, well, I make $250,000 a year and I have a great apartment and all this. I'm a catch. And she doesn't understand why, she's not
okay.
getting with anybody.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every time I want her to send me. If she likes me, she must want to see my dick, right?
Yeah.
It's that version of it, right?
Yeah, sure.
There's no such thing as a solicited dick pic, so it doesn't
Right.
need to be specified that they're unsolicited dick pics because there has never. I don't think there's ever been a solicited.
Yeah, I haven't heard of a solicited one either. I have like female friends, like they have messaged some guys, but like they don't even say hello. It's just like penis.
Dick.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
They
Like,
open with dick.
Yeah, they open with dick. It's like, okay, be more.
I mean, that is
give
the
me a,
thing.
be more subtle with this. Give me a good evening or something. Like,
And so
I'm
that's
sure.
that's kind of what I'm thinking about Louis C.K. Maybe that was his thing. He's like, well, I
Yeah.
I want to see a girl strip naked and
Jerk
masturbate in
off.
front of me. So obviously they must want to see me jerk
Yeah.
off in front of them.
I think he just
Right.
thinks it doesn't exist unless somebody's watching. He watched too much Neil deGrasse Tyson about the observable universe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He said it was his thing.
Yeah.
What he was into,
Yeah.
and I guess as people, and I guess maybe didn't think about the position that he
Yeah.
was in.
Power dynamics.
Yeah, so but he was
Well,
like,
Yeah. That's one of the other things that never gets brought up is when that was, because that was in like 2002. So when it all broke in 2017,
Yeah.
2017 Louis C.K. is like.
oh, and he did,
this thing.
yeah.
2022 or 2002 Louis C.K. He was just kind of a guy doing
Yeah.
comedy, right?
He,
for a lot of the case. I mean, he was the head writer for
Yeah, he did a lot of. He
Dana
was,
Carvey show.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he wrote Pootie Tang.
yeah, he wrote Booty
He
Tang.
was like an accomplished
Yeah.
comedian
Yeah.
writer and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was headlining, different clubs and stuff. But yeah, it was not quite.
Yeah, it wasn't King of the World in
Yeah.
2017 Louis
It was
C.K.
not. Yeah,
He should
like,
have stayed behind the camera. He would have
Yeah.
been safe.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's good at writing and stuff.
yeah. He talked about taking like private jets. All the. It wasn't private jet, Louis C.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It was-
yeah.
It was visiting Obama at the White House. Yeah, Louis.
Here's another dumb premise I thought of. Is it possible for a werewolf to have a mustache?
Well, isn't it a wolf?
In wolf form, your whole
Yeah.
body's covered in hair.
Yeah, but do regular wolves have mustache?
No, well, if it's one of those cute scruffy dogs with like the hanging down
Yeah.
Scruff.
Like a
Maybe.
schnauzer look, yeah.
Yeah, the schnauz. Yeah,
we were
the
playing Baldur's
schnauzer.
Gate and there was this hairy monster, and he was hairy all over his whole body,
Yeah.
but the hair on his lip was like coiffed out
Oh yeah.
like a mustache.
Yeah.
But it was like you're already covered in hair.
Yeah.
So is that a mustache or is that just part of being
Yeah.
a covered in hair
Okay.
beast?
Well,
Yeah.
you know, in the new Puss in Boots movie, he runs away because the
I've been
stinky
wanting to
rose
watch
water
that.
it's so
but
good, dude.
I heard it was good. Okay,
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I have. It's on my Netflix.
Yeah.
It's
That's
saved.
good.
It's all about like getting old as a man.
Yeah, I heard. It's final 9 lives. Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
on his last life.
So he basically runs away and goes and lives with a cat lady
Okay.
with a bunch of cats, and and then it shows like the time going by, and he's got a long cat beard.
Nice. Okay.
So they did it in Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
They gave a
yeah.
furry animal a beard and a mustache.
If you're an animal, if you're covered in hair, can you have facial hair or is that just hair?
Yeah. Well, if it,
You're already hairy everywhere.
Wow.
yeah. DreamWorks movie can do it.
They changed the style on that newest Puss in Boots. You know, it used to look more like Shrek, and now it looks more like Spider-Man and Turtles. It's
Does?
painted.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it gets all that kind of choppy animation during action
it's
scenes or
like
whatever.
artsy look.
Yeah. Right.
There's another annoying thing people do. You know, they started making us do pronouns in our email signature at work.
It made you, or
Well,
they just
they
gently
They
suggested
sent
it?
a copy paste thing for everyone to use with
Yeah.
a parentheses.
Yeah.
This is where you put your pronouns.
I guess you don't want to be the guy who does.
Well, it's like if you're participating, then you're saying that that's okay that everybody's doing that. So it is a bit of a statement to put that for everyone.
Yeah.
Because if I take that part out, then it makes it obvious that I am not going to do that.
I think people who do that just want to, be included. Like, hey,
Well,
I'm a good guy. I'm a good
that's
person.
the
That's your
that's
signal.
the reasoning behind it, and that's the reasoning behind it when you don't think about it any deeper. Mine was always whenever I see it, I'm like, well, number one, when you see it on social media, you know kind of what all the person's opinions are going to be. They're not going to surprise you. You know?
Fair. Yeah, I
Well, it's
doubt
like,
it.
remember you used to put quotes? People used to put like Albert Einstein
Yeah,
quotes.
Yeah, but I
Or
was-
song lyrics.
Yeah, it's always yeah.
I'm gonna start using Hitler quotes and just putting that it's Albert Einstein and fool
You know,
everybody.
it's
like,
funny.
Wow, what a great quote.
When I was in college, we had the 1 week in the dining hall. It was like write down your favorite quote.
Yeah.
Then people just wrote the most egregious,
Yeah.
terrible. But then somebody wrote down, don't cry because it's over, or smile because
It
it
happened,
happened. Adolf Hitler.
Hell yeah.
So, which that's Dr. Seuss, by the way, but somebody said it was Adolf Hitler. So I don't think that lasted a week. I think it took.
They're like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we cannot address these guys with quotes.
Yeah, that was why. I just want the first person to put their pronouns as it and its.
Yeah, it was a
You
lot
know.
easier to make a funny quote and entertain everybody and keep it harmless. It used to be.
Yeah.
Now, people they don't want that anymore. So they took that out and put the pronouns in, and there's no funny way to fuck around with the pronoun thing. I was gonna put thunder/falcon and tell everybody they have to call me a thunder falcon.
Yeah, I don't think people will find. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're being
Klingon
you're
slash
You're getting called HR. if
son of
you're
Krypton.
Yeah,
Doing that stuff. I don't know. It's just
yeah. But that's there was somebody posted that she was like a waitress or something. She put her pronouns on her thing, and
Yeah.
she was waiting on some really sweet old man, and he asked her, "What's that?" And she said, "That's my pronouns. I go by she and her." And he's like, "Oh, I'd never been able to tell." So that could either be sarcastic
that's helpful.
or it could be I don't know what you look like. You know?
Older man. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
He didn't need it.
They're gonna Me Too. They're gonna get in trouble with the Addams Family for him. It.
Yeah,
Can't say
because
that
an it.
anymore.
Yeah,
You
seriously.
can't have
yeah.
thing on there. You're not allowed to be
Yeah,
called
thing and it,
Oh,
man. Yeah.
dang, wow.
I don't know if that's going to be in the new season of Wednesday, but
Do you remember the
Uh,
old story from? Did you ever go to church growing up? Do you have any religion?
Yeah, I grew up Catholic.
Okay. We had we were evangelical, but there was a
Oh.
story they told all the time. I have family that were missionaries in Papua New Guinea, and they would always tell this story about this guy that went to try to minister to the one of the uncontacted tribes in New Guinea.
Yeah, didn't he get killed?
They ate him,
Yeah, they actually ate. Yeah,
and then his wife came and became a missionary there.
and then ate her.
No,
Oh.
she taught them the Bible and forgave them. It was this big story. Like,
Interesting.
it's kind of like turn the other cheek when you get slapped. Like, you're gonna fucking eat my husband, and now I got to come work there and eat dirt with these people.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't eat her because she smelled weird. Yeah, like, "Ew, you need some rose water or something." They smelled the helicopter from a mile away. But that was those uncontacted tribes could be. I think we should leave them alone because they could end up being like the only way we can restart civilization. If there's some crazy weird mind disease that's spread by the internet.
Well, I don't think they're leaving their area.
No.
They lived in their area for like thousands of years.
But
If
did
they're-
they get COVID? Did they have COVID there?
I mean,
they
who
don't
knows?
talk to anyone.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no
It's
travel.
hard to say. I don't think they know a lot of diseases.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they have that knowledge? I don't
Yeah,
know.
they catch the Black Plague if we go see them. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I think it's worse. It'd be worse for them than it'd be for us right now. I mean, maybe whenever the
Oh.
disease from the stand is killing us all off, they'll be okay. But
Yeah, that.
right now, I think we're more of a threat to them. Our
Yeah.
diseases are more of a threat to them.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
there's
like when Columbus came.
Yeah, right.
Because, yeah, they all died.
Smallpox.
Yeah, it's like they had no defense towards COVID or whatever. Well, yeah.
That's going to be the next bad internet podcast, Joe Rogan medical advice lawsuit. Somebody's going to go down to one of those places and be like, we should fucking eat each other, bro. These people are still here. 1,000 years later. They're healthy. What's the secret? Obviously, they're eating their
They're eating
children.
human meat.
Yeah, it's good. It's got to be good for you. It's got fish oil in there. It's good for your body. But yeah, heaven forbid that the entire civilization should be started back up from just, cavemen all over again.
Wow,
There's a bear in there. Can you get it? You want to take a break? It's nerd news after this.
Oh yeah, we can stop and do nerd news. Yeah. Okay, we're back
Holy Tifa's tits, Donnie. It's time for nerd news again.
again.
Holy Aerith's areolas. Holy Lightning's labias.
Yeah,
It's just all going to be Final Fantasy girls in genitalia from now on.
yeah. It's like my middle school.
Did you guys hear the new Beatles song?
Actually, I have not listened to it.
Yeah.
I know. I saw it was out.
Is it real?
Apparently.
Is it AI generated?
It says real as the Tupac hologram.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah, didn't they like bring back George's voice and
Yes.
John's voice or something?
I think it's Peter Jackson, the same thing he did for that Disney thing, the Come Together.
Yeah,
His
right.
World War One movie. He's
Yeah.
just good at getting old footage and sprucing it up.
That's
with it.
cool.
It's all right. It's a Beatles song. It's nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's heart wrenching watching the video because it looks like they're performing all together again.
Oh, is that AI generated or is
Yeah.
that more of just like
It's
little
kinks.
background stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to listen to it eventually. It's pop culture phenomenon.
Yeah,
It's
it's
unavoidable.
so the Beatles. Like,
There's no radio anymore. You don't accidentally hear anything anymore. Everyone
Right.
is deliberate with their music.
It has to
now.
be delivered to you from the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was in high school. I was in freshman in high school whenever they did the Beatles anthology documentary,
oh, okay.
and they put out a new Beatles song. I guess it was off some John Lennon demo or something.
Yeah.
And then
Free as a
I guess-
Bird?
Yeah, Free as a Bird. And
Yeah.
they put all the three remaining Beatles like sang background on it or something or added to it.
Every 20 years they have to do a new Beatles song with the remaining Beatles, and there was 3. Now there's 2.
Yeah.
Ringo's gonna die, and it's just gonna be Paul, and he gets to say that he's the Beatles with the extra footage because he's the only Beatle. It's like Tupac again, like Tupac's killer. There weren't any killers left in the suspect list, so they charged the one remaining guy. He's now the main Tupac killer
Yeah.
because they're all dead. So we were looking at the picture of the girl from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Of the real woman.
It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
The real Molly.
unrealistic
Yeah,
that he
you
would
found
fall in
her.
love with it.
Yeah, I had to tell him the end of the movie because he had to steal $1.49 from the Alamo Draft House.
Yeah.
He only brought a 20, and his bill was like $21.49.
I was like,
And
there's
so
no
he
way.
just- He just put the 20 down and then took off 5 minutes before the movie.
I got a soda and a pretzel. I was like, there's no way this is gonna be more than $20.
Well, it's special theater.
Yeah.
You got a waiter there.
Yeah.
But actually, I do not like current movie theaters because they're too comfortable.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's like I'm set up to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, and then
Yeah.
you know,
Are you a movie sleeper?
I try not to be.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
hard.
There's a certain point, and
Yeah.
also movies like with
Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah.
they're getting movies are too long now.
Oh,
too.
they're way too long.
Dude, we need intermissions
Yeah.
back. I'm about uncomfortable scenes and intermissions.
Yeah.
Tarantino does that. He's got the and he's got the intermissions.
Yeah.
I think I didn't. The Hateful Eight have intermission, or maybe that was
The Roadshow version.
Oh yeah.
So I went and saw it at what is now Mothership
yeah.
was an Alamo Draft House for years.
Okay.
It was the Alamo Ritz downtown.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because it was like an old-timey theater
Yeah.
that had a balcony and all that. And if you
Yeah.
bought the special balcony seats, they would take you up through the kitchen. It was like Goodfellas. You were going through the
yeah.
back and then bring you up through the projection room
Oh,
and then
shit.
out onto the little balcony. And then so you have two seats on each side of the theater where you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
It was only an extra like $15 a ticket.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I went and saw the Hateful Eight there, and it was the Roadshow version that had the intermission.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I wasn't sitting in the balcony for that, but it was really cool. And then the next night, a friend of mine went to the same time showing, but during the intermission, Quentin Tarantino walks out and starts doing a Q&A, and I was
Here are
like,
my
one
thoughts.
day
Yeah.
difference. One day difference. I could have had him come out.
Wow.
But so that back in the day, the stuff that would premiere or whenever they would have a big movie like that,
Yeah.
especially for the directors that like Austin a lot.
yeah.
A lot of times the directors would be there and they would
That's-
come out and they would talk to people and all that.
That's cool.
But yeah, the first hour of Killers of the Flower Moon was nice. I mean, it was cool with those guys dancing in the oil raining
Oh,
down, and it was a
yeah.
love
Yeah.
story with Leo.
Yeah.
But now, after seeing that photo of that girl, it was completely
Yeah.
unrealistic. That's science fiction.
That
It looks
last
like,
that last
she
time
looks like Jabba the Hutt has been burned with cigarettes over and over again.
that last courtroom scene where they're like,
yeah.
were you instructed to marry her? Was this all? No, I loved her. Now you see the actual picture and you're like, that really was a
That's
lie.
stretch.
Yeah.
But they got a hot girl to play the. They do that with everything.
Yeah, the Hollywood version's always a little bit prettier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that dude wasn't as handsome as Leo either.
Yeah.
I think everybody in real life.
Paying money to look at pretty people. I'm paying money. Give me something nice to look at. And that lady
Right.
was very nice looking.
That ending was cool though. I like how they did like a
Yeah.
1950s
The
radio show.
It's basically like it was a live radio show. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's what podcast. That was a
Yeah.
true crime podcast, but the
Basically.
40s version of a
Yeah.
true crime podcast.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is Jack White.
I guess Jack White showed up and talked, and then Martin
Oh, yeah.
Scorsese was the guy at the
Yeah,
end.
Martin,
who
yeah,
read,
yeah. He showed
who
up.
read the obituary.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. It was. Yeah, I thought I was there. I used back home. I used to drive home. I just listen to NPR to have something. And Sunday nights they do radio from like the 40s and 50s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can listen to like Dragnet and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard these
remember
old
that.
time.
Yeah, oh, they were doing all the sound effects live.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
exactly.
that's like some Prairie Home Companion shit.
Exactly.
Like
They
that.
had that in DC. I remember
real
that Sunday nights in
radio,
DC.
yeah.
My dad used to put that all the time. The cop show. Where were you the night of the 11th?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're like this. Yeah, there's some of those shows are like really. I'm like, man, I'm like into this.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's radio drama. They got to
Yes.
build it. And everybody used to gather around the radio like it was a TV.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were watching the radio speakers.
Yeah.
But they were sitting and looking at the radio like it was the most amazing thing.
Yeah,
I guess you wanted to get just the perfect angle. Maybe there were audio files back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
You got to be right here.
My tube amp is better than yours. Yeah.
But yeah, my wife didn't want to go to see Flowers of the Moon because she
Wow.
was horrified by the story, and I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
it was a continuing genocide. The cowboys were killing the Indians for like 100 years before that anyway.
well, just
It's just a more nasty
the
version.
American government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't have a mega empire without stepping on necks like Rome fucked up everybody.
Well, it sounds
For
like you're
1,000 years.
giving the like.
It's not okay. I'm not saying
yeah,
murder's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
My favorite part of the Roman Empire was when they finally got up to Scotland and they got destroyed. Like they were weary, they were far from home, they're in the mountains, they were on this home turf for these people, and they just basically got hugged to death by these huge Scottish dudes. You just
Yeah.
grab an Italian and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm a hugger," and he just hugged him until his eyeballs popped out. All these Italians are like, "We got to go home. This isn't Rome. I'm afraid Scotland is fucked up.
Build a wall, keep them out. Yeah.
Get out of here." So yeah, your culture and your mega empire can only expand for so long before starts to stagnate. That's what's happening now. We're in the death throes.
Are we in the last days of our empire?
Yeah, I told you I want the Papua New Guinea ones to take over.
Yeah.
From zero. Let's start from zero.
Yeah, their empire. How long did it last? Like it was like
Bro, health secrets, bro.
like
You gotta eat each
It was
other.
a long time.
Yeah. They didn't have the internet, though. I feel like with the internet,
Yeah.
they were going to collapse a little bit faster.
I wonder
Yeah.
how long the longest empire was. Is it usually about 200-300 years?
Well, I mean, if you consider like China was like
Yeah.
they had dynasties that lasted
Yeah.
for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Still going on now.
Yeah.
Still doing pretty good over there, as far as I know. We're not allowed to know much about it, but from what I can tell, it looks like it's going pretty well.
There's lots of electronics coming out. That's all I can say.
There's a trailer now for the new Marvel show Echo, which is she's Kingpin's Native American deaf girl assassin, and they're making a big deal about this is the first M-rated deaf Native American female action superhero. It's a really specific thing to be bragging about.
Yeah.
But if she's deaf, how's she gonna know if the trains are coming? 'Cause the Indians put their ear on the track.
Yeah. No, that's actually she has to do that for everything because you feel the vibrations.
Yeah, the
right?
you got the vibration.
Yeah.
It's Daredevil. She's the anti-Daredevil. She's
Yeah, she's the
missing
opposite.
One of the senses,
Yeah.
and the rest of them are
Yeah,
heightened.
instead of being blind, she's deaf. Yeah.
It looks cool. It's violent. It's like M-rated. They're at Disney Plus is having like
It's
Yeah,
gonna flop really bad. Nobody's gonna watch it.
I like Kingpin. I like that guy. What's his name?
Kingpin was awesome in the first 3 seasons of
That's
Daredevil.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, but then I guess they brought him back in the Hawkeye show, and they did some
he did show up.
goofy stuff with him. And I don't know. The problem with it is
Where do you
that
keep your dead?
Kingpin's way better whenever you can have something that's rated MA, rated R.
Yeah.
That's why
It's Hell's Kitchen.
That's why people were kind of they're like, if they make Daredevil, it's going to be some PG-13 MCU stuff. It's not going to be anywhere near as like edgy and gritty and all that as the original show.
What's the next step will with that?
Yeah, that's one to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm saying that should still be rated R.
Yeah, I think they are going to make that rated
yeah.
R. So there was this big article that came out about how much trouble Marvel is in, about how everything's flopping.
Jonathan
There's
Majors.
problems. There's Jonathan Majors things and all that.
Oh, yeah,
And they were talking about the Blade movie that they're going to make with Mahershala
I
Ali.
read that. How they. Yeah, it was like
it wasn't
even
the main character
Blade.
in his movie.
Yeah, it wasn't even about Blade.
And it was going to be
Pandaverse,
rated
the whole thing.
PG-13. And I'm sorry, I grew up on the Wesley Snipes Blade.
Yeah.
There needs to be F words in that.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
It used to be a
And
blood rave.
that was the first big Marvel movie like that.
Yeah.
That saved their company. Like,
Yeah.
Before that at all, it was.
Is Blade even part of the cinematic universe?
Well,
now?
he was
He's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was. I mean, that's how they started because
Oh yeah, that was before. And
it was even before X-Men.
Yeah,
Again.
it was the first. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like 98,
Yeah.
97, and the X-Men was like.
Marvel's also in the
2000.
death throes of their mega empire right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deteriorating.
I don't know if it's because I'm older now or if the quality's gone down. But yeah, since after they, completed the
Endgame,
Infinity Saga,
Yeah.
I'm not as into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're
I don't
older,
know.
you're smarter.
Yeah, like
you-
that was back. I was in high school,
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really grew up. Now I'm an adult, and I'm just like, yeah. And they didn't have like the TV shows weren't connected.
Yeah.
Like Daredevil and stuff was on Netflix, but
Iron Fist.
it's
Yeah.
not a part of the storyline of the movies. And now it's like, the reference.
Now,
TV
if you
show.
want to know what's going on in a movie, you have to watch 2
You
TV
gotta watch
shows.
them all. You gotta
Yeah.
collect all the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like so many, and it's like
When I was
it's
little,
just
I
a
just
lot of
wanted.
content.
Yeah. It's a lot of
Like-
stuff.
All I
Yeah.
wanted when I was little was a Wolverine movie, and now there's like 7 of them.
Yeah,
And they still didn't do it
that.
right.
He's coming back though.
They need to do the Onslaught arc from the comics and pull his adamantium out and let him be feral with bone claws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then they have to.
that'd be-
Yeah, there's a way to fix Marvel,
Wow.
but they haven't.
The way to fix Marvel is to go back to after Endgame came out and just not do anything for like 2 or 3
Yeah.
years. But unfortunately, that doesn't make the stock price go up
Yeah, they need
a few dollars
They need
per
to go
share.
into timeout. Disney
Right.
needs to go into a timeout.
Right.
Go in your room.
You guys see the new South Park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a chicken
We've
and
been
make it.
talking
Yeah.
about that for a year, but it was like
Yeah.
the elephant in the room, polar bear type thing. Like,
Yeah.
is this really going on? But them doing that kind of validated the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Every
Everybody's-
time he would, because he gets really hyped. Anytime there's a trailer for a show or a movie or whatever, he really he sends it. He links it to everybody, and then I say, "Wow, they really are just putting all chicks and stuff now." It's like,
I mean, no, it's good to have representation, but it's like, you need just don't put a chick in it just to put a chick in it.
Have representation that has good make it a good character, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you get Jennifer Lawrence saying she was the first ever action sci-fi star. It was like, what about Ripley?
Oh yeah, Ripley.
Well, this has been happening. It was fine. They didn't make a big deal out of it back then. Nobody was like oddly specific first deaf native M-rated Disney Plus show star female. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Calm down.
I guess eventually we're gonna have to get more and more and more like specific about the first ever things that are happening. Because there've been so many first. All the basic ones have been covered. We've had the first of everything. Now we have to start adding like sub.
Yeah, well, Martin, I don't know if you know
onto
this, but you're on the #1 South Austin Star Wars Final Fantasy comedy podcast of all time ever. We've got it locked. Curb Your Enthusiasm's coming back in February finally. We have to watch that over here. We usually watch that over here.
What was the last one? The Mocha Joe's?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
No. It was about he had to get his fence.
Yeah, the pool.
Yeah,
The guy
yeah,
died
the
in the
pool.
pool.
I think
the pool
Mocha
and the
Joe's
fence, yeah.
before it. Yeah,
Was the one before.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
so because they come out like
Yeah.
every 4 years, so I can't
Yeah.
remember which one was which.
That was Pandaverse too. They put the Mexican girl in there, and they were saying
Yeah.
she was good, and he had to hire her, and he was like, "No,
She was so terrible.
good."
yeah.
I think my favorite recent one was the one where John Hamm was playing a character based on him, and he started method acting, and he became Larry.
Yeah. I like when Jeff grew out his beard.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "You hanging out with Harvey Weinstein?"
Because he looked like
Yeah, he looks just like Harvey Weinstein.
Did you hear what he got fired for? It was like a Joey Diaz quote. He's talking about washing his pussy.
Oh yeah,
He's joking around.
He was doing like weird jokes.
yeah, he was just being obnoxious on set for fun.
Yeah.
Someone was made to feel unsafe. How dare you? And now the Friends stars have started a Matthew Perry Foundation for Addiction.
That's good.
Which I don't know what it's called. It's probably like Matthew Perry's Fun Guy Cool Time Party Company or something.
Wow.
Could I be more addicted? that was the lame jokes that immediately everybody started making when he died. Could I be more dead?
Somebody pulled an old clip from a Friends episode where he said he was going to be the first one of the Friends to die.
Oh yeah.
Well, during that time, he was doing a lot of drugs, so he probably,
Him and Charlie Sheen were leaning on furniture in every scene of their sitcoms.
Yeah. What's funny is whenever you watch, if you go back and watch Friends, like almost from episode to episode, his weight changes.
Oh, yeah. He says like he was so fucked up during the whole run. He
doesn't remember filming.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
Of those,
Dude, I of course would ruin my entire life if I went and did that shit. I mean, I go do one open mic downtown and make friends with somebody, and then I feel like I could get back into cocaine and ruin my life and lose my kids within a week. Like, this is too much fun.
Well, at least he died in a hot tub, I'm sure.
That's why I say
it's pleasurable.
Yeah, it's like out of any body of water.
Yeah.
Any pool, bathtub, ocean. I want a jacuzzi hot tub.
Yeah, if I had to pick what water to die in.
We used to take shrooms and play fetus in the hot tub at my apartment.
What's fetus?
It's a huge hot tub, and there's like 5 people around the outside, and you have to get in the middle and get in the fetal position, and everybody tries to push the water so that you feel nothing, so that you're floating exactly like without touching anything.
Yeah, it's like a isolation tank.
Yeah.
That sounds like a terrible game.
It was fun.
I would hate that game.
You forget to breathe eventually. You're like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to breathe.
I would hate an isolation tank too and all that. I'm like, fuck that.
I don't need to be trapped with my own
I don't
thoughts.
I don't like closed spaces.
Your brain is like, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Yeah, that's.
I stayed up last night watching Silence because I was on a Scorsese
Oh,
kick.
you know what? I've never seen that one.
It's good.
I've been meaning to see it, but that's like one that's like hard to find. Like even when it released, like it wasn't really anywhere. I feel like it's not as well known.
That's the one with Andrew Garfield, right?
Yeah,
where they're in Japan.
There's Canaries in Japan.
And they're monks or whatever. Yeah.
Depending on how you feel about your religious upbringing, I loved it because it's Christians getting tortured by ninjas for 3 hours.
Oh dang! Okay.
They're just like, denounce your God. I'm pulling your fingernails out. You're a Buddhist now. You're in Japan.
Isn't that kind of long too?
Yeah, it's a long
It's
one.
Shane Gillis said Silence is the kind of movie where if you want your girlfriend to say I'm going to bed after about 20 minutes, you put on Silence.
I remember. Yeah, you do that. You was like that, and there will be blood.
Yeah.
You know, like what?
You're gonna get a lot of silence if you put silence on.
Yeah.
You won't have anybody talking over the movie.
Yeah.
I've also watched Loki all day today. I had a really good scene of this girl listening to the Velvet Underground, and then the entire universe unraveled around her in slow motion. It was beautiful. And
Cool.
you know, I like Loki because I believe that if there is a god, he's a chaotic nightmare person. He's got borderline personality disorder.
I haven't been into like everything on Marvel. I haven't been as into the second season.
Yeah,
I've seen
it feels like a commitment at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of interesting, but at the same time, I don't feel.
They get good actors. They've got Luke Wilson. And a bunch of good people. Yeah, Owen Wilson. And
I like Owen Wilson. You know.
And Hiddleston is good. They're all good.
They got what's his name? The Asian guy.
Yeah, but Data.
Yeah. They got, he's in it now. He's fine. He's
but
cool.
they just keep
doing
he's
these.
in
Loki?
Yeah, he's like a new character.
Isn't he just the guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once? Did he jump to that universe?
Yeah. That's the universe.
Yeah. That's the multiverse.
Right.
I like that.
I
still am able to enjoy Loki. I mean, it's a short. You know, it's the weekly Disney half hour. You gotta.
Yeah.
I can give Disney a half hour of my how many hours are in the week every week if it's dumb Star Wars shit or weird new Marvel thing. There's a new Fincher movie coming out too, The Killer.
It's going to be on Netflix or something. Yeah.
With Michael Fassbender.
Oh yeah.
It looks good. I like stuff about hitmen because there's always that moment like in Barry and Grosse Pointe Blank where he's a soldier with PTSD. Same with Killers of the Flower Moon. He's used to killing. He's being hired to kill. And at some point during the movie, he just kills someone because they're bothering him. Yeah. And that's always the director's choice. So I'm interested to see what Fincher decides to be that moment for his Fassbender killer.
Yeah.
Because it's not, none of these are based on reality. It's just like, I'm going to play around in the world of a hitman. And then this guy writing the movie is like, let's do something silly here where he just murders someone because they're bothersome. And it's usually like the director's pet peeve. It's like a lady with a coupon in the grocery store or something.
It's a very Larry David situation.
You can see right through.
It's if Larry David was a hitman.
They're the nomenclature that Christians use for people that aren't Christians is demeaning. It's lost. You're lost people. Yeah. Unsaved people are lost. Which is really, well, it's funny to me because Tolkien was friends with
C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
And C.S. Lewis was a huge Christian, but Tolkien was not all who wandered.
No, it was
are lost.
Tolkien was like hardcore Catholic. And,
I was gonna
and
say.
C.S. Lewis was an atheist, and C.S. Lewis had some type of conversion or some religious moment or whatever, and he became hardcore Christian. And I think he kind of credited Tolkien with that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think there is religious thing.
Did you go to mass and stuff growing up?
Yeah, I went to mass.
Every Sunday?
Yeah.
What part of D.C. are you from?
Oh, no. Well, I lived in D.C. I went to college there, but I grew up in the Hampton Roads area.
Okay.
More down south in Virginia.
Yeah. My family in Norfolk. I went down there all the time.
I'm from Yorktown.
Yeah.
Which is like right next to Newport News and everything.
That's a big deal. We every time we went down there, the only Taco Bell when I was little was in Ashland.
Oh, okay. That's like north near Richmond.
Yeah. And we had to stop. Well, we stopped there on the way to Norfolk.
Yeah, you have to go.
The only two beaches were 4 hours away, which is weird because it was
couldn't Ocean City.
Beach or Ocean City, yeah.
Oh, okay.
3-4 hours away.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I guess.
But if you look at the map, DC, like you can just go east and there's water.
I'm sure there's like a shitty beach like in Maryland.
I looked.
But if you want like a bigger beach, Ocean City, Virginia Beach.
All the beaches that are 45 minutes from DC are like crabbing places.
Yeah.
Like there's Maryland's hanging down on the horizon, so you can't like look out like and see a beach.
Yeah.
There's land, and it's just like a state park.
Yeah.
It's mostly for boating and being a Maryland person. Do you have any non-internet clocks you had to set back today yourself?
Yeah, I have two.
The kitchen, the microwave,
the oven in the microwave.
No, I actually have a regular clock. I like having a clock I can look at. It's just even though I look at my phone, I just like looking up and seeing the time.
You're a school teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just,
You
yeah, I
gotta
guess
have that. You
I
gotta
guess
have
after
that.
this pattern, and it's like a pattern. Like, okay, how much time? I don't know. Yeah, I'm out and about. For some reason, I'm always like concerned about time,
Yeah.
but it's like probably doesn't matter that much. Probably good.
But it's
Relax.
comforting to have it.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
like the cut. Yeah, I have. Yeah,
I
couple
used to be
clocks.
so bored in school. I'd look at the clock and be like, "There's 2 hours left. That's the same length as Star Wars. I'm just gonna think about the entirety of Star Wars,
Yeah.
and then the day will be over if I just
Replay it
go
in my
through the
head.
whole movie."
Yeah.
I always liked it whenever the clock that they had at school was not the one that went second by second, but the one that went smoothly,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
second, because it seemed like it went by faster.
Yeah.
If you could watch the smooth second hand instead of the one that went second by second
Yeah.
and stopped in between each one. All right, yeah,
Mhm.
we're good. So
Cool.
Martin, what's like your handles? What's your social media?
Oh, usually this Fly Marty guy is FLYY Marty YY Fly Marty. Probably should change that. It might be easier to.
We'll
probably
put it
should
up on
change.
everything.
Yeah,
We're gonna
probably
tag you
should
and
change
everything.
that soon. But
So
yeah,
Fly Marty with 2 Y's on
two Y's.
Fly and Marty.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's
Nice.
like most things, like Instagram, Twitter,
Nice.
TikTok too, and then Facebook is my thing.
Right.
But you never look at me on Facebook like who sends friend requests anymore? I haven't sent a friend request.
Where do you get the most engagement? Like, what's the most important
I
thing to check?
think usually Instagram's like the top thing
Yeah.
now. Like, that's what people look for. You know, to
Do you
get
go
followers.
live? Do you ever go
and-
live? Do you do
No,
live
I'm
stuff?
not a live person. No,
Me neither.
I've never. Yeah, I've never.
You're not a streamer. You're not a.
Yeah.
Who's that Ice Poseidon? I don't know who any of the streamers are
Yeah,
anymore.
that
I just
is-
know there's some that were like huge assholes. Like I guess
Yeah.
Logan and Jake Paul were kind of dicks. And then
Yeah,
there's some of those guys.
Yeah. But I haven't gone live yet. I have
Yeah.
no reason.
We've done a couple live game streams on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
which is fun to do. But yeah, I don't get the appeal of walking around and
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, I'm walking around this place, and then I'm talking to the camera and all that. But
Come out and see us. If you want to see all three of us, we'll be at Little Woodrow's on Monday nights usually. I like going over there. It's fun.
Yeah.
Little Woodrow's in South Park Meadows. Let's fill that place up.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, South Austin comedy. We got to get it. we're blowing up the scene now.
Yeah. We're trying to make it our own mega empire so we can stomp on some necks and deteriorate into nothingness eventually.
Yeah, just from our couch. So the comedy from the couch is the goal. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we will talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Signing off.